It has been way overdue because, like I said, in Luganda, some of the devices and the technology that's operating right now didn't exist during that time. The population of Uganda was probably about maybe less than 8 million people. That time we have 40 million people. The media outlets for our works, like for example TVs, radio stations, we only had one. We had UTV and Radio Uganda, where even one person can supervise. But now we have a lot of TV stations and a lot of radio stations and a lot of media. So we are on the verge of entering AI. And if we enter AI before we even fix digital, we will be headed to the wrong path. So it has been way overdue. I mean, there was no computers when they made the first law. Computers are the major carriers of music lately, so they need to be regulated as well. So it's been way long overdue. I mean, other countries have already amended their copyrights, and you see them taking off, like Nigeria, like China even. So, but it's never too late. I think it's not bad timing.
Maybe what I wanted you to clarify on is, and then hand it back to you. Yeah.
Okay.
How is it done abroad, and do you think it's tenable?
I think it is. I mean, I'm in support of the bill. I think it is. 20 years is not a long time, because we need to give each other time to make money, time to grow, and time to make profits. You know, you can make money, but sometimes you haven't even made profits. So we need to give each other enough time, like publishers, to really move the music around and make sure, you know, you generate as much possible revenue. Because every time you switch, because music is global, it has no boundaries. So every time you switch publishers, you know, you have to start all over again, you know. But 20 years is okay, I think. If that's what's said in the bill, I think that's very okay.
Okay. Yeah. What's the average time for a company like Sony, these foreign brands?
I don't know. That would have to come from a Sony professional. I'm a professional on the microphone, yeah, and I'm a professional on knowing that getting 1.8% from the telecoms is a very low share of revenue and unfair. Yeah. So I'm enlightened about a few things, but I want you to know, we as a federation, we have a full executive body, and we have everybody designated for a certain office. So the work you're asking me about right now as a professional for that office, and they will tell you how it works in Sony. Yeah, then we can relate.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, man.
CRBTs has been just something in the air. No one was regulating it. The telecom companies were doing as they deemed fit. They would imagine the creator of these works was receiving only 1.8% of the revenue collected. But we thank government and colleagues who were part of this, and you, the members of parliament, for lifting this. At least the percentage is now clear, and we hope that it stays that way, because I'm sure sometimes when you go back to the committees, you reduce. So it's, please either add more or maintain that. Please don't repeal. We love that. We appreciate the enforcement of the digital protection and enforcement in clauses 6, 13b, and 17, because the reason why we are all advocating for the amendment of this law is that there is a lot that has come since 2006. New streaming platforms, there's a new domain that has come, and it's very busy, the digital content creation, and without the digital protection, those people are just working in the dark, and they're losing a lot of money. So we commend you for that. Like Chair said, we are going to be brief. We appreciate the fact that Honorable Basalirwa has lifted our confidence in mostly the domestication of these treaties, the Berne Convention, WIPO Treaty, and other, the Marrakesh Treaty and others as listed there. Because at the end of the day, we are operating in a global village where you create a song or a film, and in just 2 days it can reach wherever. So if we don't create those reciprocal understandings with the world, that means we are building our own island, and we thank you, Honorable, and your colleagues for this. We hope we continue to support each other on this. Now, back to our colleagues not understanding or knowing what it is about. We want this law to work because since 2006, when it was last amended, I don't think it has done much. Yet its provisions would also do some, would protect some rights, but because people didn't even know what it means, we had that gap. So we pray that national sensitizations are done. At least if we can have major 5 or 4 per year, so that our people understand what they're dealing with. Because at the end of the day, we're going to have a lot of, sorry to use the word, noise made. And when you sit with a person complaining, you'll find out that it's just a matter of not understanding why they're arguing. So before we know, we'll have conflicts in court that we don't even know why we are putting them there. So we pray that this be considered. So as we design or as you empower the Directorate of Copyright, this should be one of the major issues. Otherwise, we're not going to regulate anything.
Whose responsibility should that be?
That should be a responsibility of government, because it's your responsibility to make your citizens understand. You correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I know. To understand what you are legislating, because creating a law where we don't know, because you guys sit here and make laws every day. A lot of them, the last I checked was about 300 plus. And very few Ugandans know about them, but they are regulating Ugandans. So for this particular one, we request that government creates something that helps us to understand it more. And this awareness will help. We need to create these campaigns and not just creating them the government way, because government will come and put something on TV with a man in suit and leaves. But we should understand the environment we are dealing with and how we communicate to them, so that someone doesn't get bored of the copyright story. So yeah, I think that's more of it. The rest proposed definitions in relation to the international practices. And I thank you, Chair and colleagues.
Thank you very much. Do we have anyone who wants to supplement on that? Okay.
But you see, we should not forget that they are also in our industry, they are working. So if they don't have a budget for that, they're not going to send them.
By pulling them closer to government and then they tell others?
Can I